Saved by God to make America great again. The golden age of America begins right now.
Birthright citizenship. It's a term that has ignited intense legal debates and political battles. But what does it really mean, and why is it at the center of a major showdown? Let's break it down. President Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship has triggered an unprecedented legal battle over immigration policy. Some say it's an effort to protect American sovereignty, while others argue it's a direct assault on the Constitution. If we lose, it means that the Constitution doesn't matter, says a legal expert. Legal scholars largely agree that the 14th Amendment is clear. Anyone born on U.S. soil is an American citizen, regardless of their parents' immigration status. But the Trump administration sees a legal loophole worth exploring. The concept of birthright citizenship was enshrined in the 14th Amendment in 1868. It was designed to grant citizenship to formerly enslaved African Americans, ensuring their legal rights. This phrase was included to exclude individuals who were immune from U.S. law, foreign diplomats, Native Americans living on sovereign lands, and children of occupying enemy forces. The Trump administration argues that undocumented immigrants should also be excluded from birthright citizenship because they are not legally part of the country. Some legal experts believe that the Trump administration's argument contradicts previous Supreme Court rulings. For an administration that is taking a hard line on undocumented immigrants, claiming that their children aren't subject to U.S. jurisdiction seems contradictory, says an immigration attorney. One landmark case that supporters of birthright citizenship cite is United States versus Wong Kim Arth, 1898. The Supreme Court ruled that a man born in the U.S. to Chinese immigrant parents was entitled to citizenship even though his parents were not U.S. citizens. Some scholars argue that this ruling didn't explicitly address the children of undocumented immigrants, leaving room for legal interpretation.
The order applies to all people in the United States illegally, requiring anyone 14 years and older who's in the country 30 days or longer to give fingerprints and provide an address. Those who don't face a $5,000 fine or jail time.
These folks that are here in this country illegally can self-register. They can avoid the criminal charges, they can avoid the fines, and we will help them go home.
The move stems from a 1940 law called the Alien Registration Act and is part of a broader approach critics say will turn civil offenses into criminal ones.
Trump's executive order states that children born in the U.S. will not receive citizenship unless at least one parent is a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident. The goal? To curb what his allies call birth tourism and reduce incentives for illegal immigration. My policy will deter migrants from coming and encourage those already here to return to their home countries. They must go back, Trump has stated. Critics warn that this move could create a permanent underclass, children born in the U.S. who have no legal nationality, no access to essential rights, and no clear path forward. Local governments could also face funding cuts as many federal benefit programs base eligibility on social security numbers. Can a president unilaterally change the Constitution? Most legal experts say no. To end birthright citizenship, Trump would need one of two things: a constitutional amendment which requires 2/3 of Congress and 3/4 of the states, or a favorable Supreme Court ruling that reinterprets the 14th Amendment. Even a conservative Supreme Court is unlikely to rule against a century-old precedent, says a constitutional scholar. They start with the text, and the text is clear. Federal courts have already intervened. In Seattle, a judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking the executive order. Major blow to the Trump administration, federal judge blocks the executive order, calling it blatantly unconstitutional. If the injunction holds, the Trump administration can appeal to higher courts, potentially bringing the case before the Supreme Court. Obviously, we will appeal it, Trump responded. They put it before a certain judge in Seattle. No surprises there.
The Supreme Court has never held that children of illegal aliens or aliens who are in the United States temporarily are entitled to birthright citizenship.
Any attempt to radically reinterpret the citizenship clause serves only to further the goal of right-wing extremists to unconstitutionally limit who can have a political voice in this country.
To eliminate birthright citizenship would be to create a permanent underclass, a caste system, which was the very result the Reconstruction Congress intended to end.
The benefits of having a child with U.S. citizenship is that child can later sponsor you for lawful permanent residence, and the implications of that from a national security or criminal perspective are enormous.
If the Supreme Court allows the executive order to take effect while the case is being litigated, birthright citizenship could be temporarily halted, even without a final ruling.
We're going to see the same approach this time.
We are prepared to fight this all the way to the Supreme Court if we have to, because President Trump believes that this is a necessary step to secure our nation's borders and protect our homeland.
Most legal experts believe the executive order is unlikely to withstand judicial scrutiny. However, the political impact is undeniable. You can imagine another scenario where the administration uses this order to pressure Congress into passing a citizenship reform bill, suggests a political analyst. It is a stepping stone. Trump and his allies are already calling for legislative action to solidify these changes into law. With the Birthright Citizenship Act of 2025, we can secure these reforms permanently, a Republican lawmaker declared. At its core, this case is about more than just birthright citizenship. It's about whether the rule of law will prevail in America. This battle is far from over, and its outcome will shape the nation for generations to come.